Welcome to the Pulse of Jonesboro. I am Jeremy Terrell, and I am your host. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of things just this week have been going on. I do want to go ahead and talk about a few things in the city. This bond issue came to head, and basically what's going on is there's a portion of the city council that thinks that because the bond company didn't recommend taking it to the finance committee anymore, the truth is that they don't like that the finance committee has shot it down twice, that it doesn't need to go to 3 readings. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they're talking about, other than they're going to take it to the floor for a vote. Why? I don't know. There's all kinds of reasons, but the truth of the matter is they're just trying to supersede the procedures. That's because they don't like the way things went. And that's bad. That's crazy bad. On top of that, man, my phone's been ringing off the hook the last couple of days. And one of the reasons is because there's an employee that works for the city that does an unbelievable job. And every single person that I know that knows this person personally says maybe the top-notch man, period. And this guy is getting harassed because he won't cut corners for certain individuals. From what I've heard, this guy's job's even maybe in jeopardy. And if that happens, I will definitely name names, and we'll put this all over the place. I surely hope that's not the case, but it's not the first time I've heard that. With this administration, I hear that people get, if they buck the system, or if they come in, or if they maybe try to ride the straight and narrow, they get fired a lot of times. And voicing your opinion doesn't get you very far. We had the situation with Rachel Anderson. Boy, she made the mayor mad, and look what happened with her. And again, whether you agree with her or not, the fact of the matter is that she was let go. And there's no rules that she broke, but she was let go pretty quickly, actually. And she had a great reputation. The prior year, she was employee of the month or employee of the year, and then let go the next year. Again, it was because upset certain people within the mayor's office. And the situation is the same right now. And man, I sure hope that's not the case, because from what I do know about this person, he has 100% always been a stand-up guy. For 30 plus years of his service, this guy's always been stand-up guy. And again, every single person that knows this guy says the same thing. From every walk of life says the same thing, says that this guy is top notch. And so if this guy's under fire, and from what I'm getting and the feedback I'm getting is, yeah, he is definitely under fire, and he is definitely being singled out because he won't cut corners for certain individuals while being asked not to cut corners for other individuals. This guy wants to be on the straight and narrow and treat everybody the same, which is what you should do, right? So if there's favors going on within the city, which we all know that there is, at some point in time, that kind of stuff's got to stop. It's just got to stop. A lot of times it's wrapped around money, and the other times it's wrapped around power. And I don't know which one this is, and I'm not sure when the other incidences. I know I have a personal friend that got fired also for bringing attention to a pretty big problem. I'm pretty sure that was about probably both money and power. It's a really serious issue we got going on within the city. And I would think that there's probably, a while back, we had, I don't know, towards the end of the year, I need to go back and check it, and I'll say this on the next episode, but we had 17, 18, 19 lawsuits against Jonesboro. And we did some research because we think, was that common for 80,000 people? Is that common to have that many lawsuits against you? No, it's not. And again, this goes to leadership, solely leadership. You got that many lawsuits against you. So I'll have to find out where we're at on the lawsuits and how many we got left. But I can tell you that we got a lot of inner turmoil. And you guys have heard me say this about like the police department and other things, but it's not just them. There's obviously a lot more inner turmoil. And You either fly under the radar and just do your job and keep your head down, or maybe you run the risk of hurting somebody's feelings and then getting fired. I don't understand it. I don't get it. There's definitely some major egos over there, major egos. For what I've been told, don't get on the bad side of some of the people within the city. And because the egos do come out, a lot of it's firsthand hearsay. This thing about one of the employees of the city, that's real. I've had numerous people with firsthand experience on this situation talking about what's going on, and it's bad. It's bad, and it shouldn't happen. And if it does, everybody in Jonesboro needs to be in an uproar. So the bond thing is bad. We have procedures that everybody's supposed to follow, and when it doesn't go their way, they supersede those procedures. Number one, it looks shady. Whether it is shady or not shady, it has the perception of massive shadiness. It's not transparent. It doesn't give the people the ability to come and to talk about it at city council meetings. These mechanisms were developed and they're not even being followed. What's funny, these mechanisms were actually put into place because people weren't getting their way and they thought through these mechanisms they'd get their way. And this is a while back. And it's funny how this has come full circle, and now we've got some people on the finance committee that are pretty sharp. Not all of them, but some of them, and they're not getting their way in the finance committee. So they're just going to bypass the finance committee. It's funny how it makes this circle, and now they are excluding the finance committee in this. They haven't excluded the finance committee in anything else. Why this one? You tell me. One of the other things is, I think this is almost going into the second month. We have yet to hear anything about the City Stars audit. Matter of fact, I believe that the City Stars audit is actually being done by the person that we're wondering whether or not they've been doing things correctly. Like they're either asking or doing the audit. Somebody said a rumor, again, this is rumor, that they couldn't find somebody to do the audit. That's why the audit hasn't been done yet. That's a joke. I know people that would do the audit. If you can't find somebody, give me a shout. I guarantee I can turn you on to a CPA or somebody that will do the audit. 100% guarantee. But you don't have the person that you want audited or that's running the group that's getting audited to find the person to do the audit or to do the audit. That's shady and reeks of like bad juju. Bad juju. So where's the audit? And I'm going to end, it's going to be a short one today, but I'm going to end with an incident that happened today. So everybody knows Patty Lack. If you don't, you need to go visit her Facebooks, and I'll tell you the name of one of her Facebooks, which talks about city stuff. But Patty is a regular at city council meetings. She does a lot of research and asks a ton of questions, and sometimes they're unbelievable questions that we need to know as citizens. And yesterday she went into the finance committee and did an unbelievable job at asking questions and also bringing up numbers, and the numbers that have changed since the end of last year to today, and wondering why they've changed and what's changed and what's the reasoning of why they've changed, and do we expect any other changes if this goes through, and so forth and so on. And today she went in trying to have a conversation about it, and they said it wasn't on the agenda. And again, this is one of those things that you don't put it on the agenda, so it's not even up for discussion. And so you not only are you superseding the finance committee, now you're going to supersede the people. You're going to supersede the people. You're supposed to represent the people. Everybody on that board is supposed to represent the people, not just a couple. Not just a few. And you guys have heard me brag about some that, and I don't even know one of them, but brag about some of them that had a town hall and pledged to have more town halls just a few months ago. And that town hall went great. And the chief of police came out and all of it was great. They answered a bunch of questions and it was great. But nobody else has done that. I don't even know if anybody else even plans to do that. Don't want to inconvenience anybody to get out there and do their job and find out what the people in their community really want. So Patty's doing all of this. Today, one of the city councilmen, Mr. Steele, decides he's going to come around and meet Patty on the floor and get in her face. Now, Patty is 110 pounds soaking wet. Small lady. Mr. Steele is not. He's probably, don't get your feelings hurt, but I would assume he's probably around 250 or so, maybe more, maybe less, but he's right around there. Gets in her face, giving her what for, actually has to be restrained by employees from the city. And as he's being pulled away, he's still going at her. Now, this is serious. There should be reprimanding, whatever the steps are that should be taken. This guy should be, I don't even know. This isn't the first time that he's gone after her. He goes after her verbally quite a bit from his position. But he got in her face. From everybody that I have talked to says going after her. Some have said one of the most disgusting things they've ever seen in that type of situation. So what's going to happen? I don't know, but I can tell you this, something has to happen. Man, there's a trend going on within our city. There's problems after problems. And again, anytime they post something about something, everybody's saying, what about our roads? Can you fix our roads? I keep going around and I don't see any roads fixed. I don't even see any road work. So I don't know what's going on with the road work. But all I know is they want to take a lot of money out of funds. And I said this a couple of episodes ago. They put all the money that comes into the general fund. They want to build stuff, but then there's no questions talking about how do you maintain this? What's the budget to maintain it? They don't even go over that. So if you build something, you have to maintain it. We can't even maintain the things that we currently have. We can't even repave roads. I said this last time. You will see on my Facebook page and Instagram, you will see a couple of roads. I would say pretty high profile subdivisions. I'm going to post a couple pictures. They're almost gravel roads. And they've been like this 2 to 3 to 4 years. This is crazy. We should be demanding more. We 100% should be out there demanding more. And I am. And I know that we are getting greater and greater views of this podcast. And I'm so thankful to you guys. Last episode, we were close to 1,000, which is unbelievable. And I truly appreciate that. Just keep it up because we're going to make a difference. Your voices will be heard. But I can't even tell you what we're doing as a city. I can't even tell you what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what projects we're fulfilling. I don't know anything. Like, they want to take credit for taking the building down. I can tell you this, they weren't going to take the building down till me and a couple of other ones threw a fit about pushing this back down the road, and the businesses downtown would suffer for probably a year at the rate that they were going. Now, do I believe that the taxpayers need to be reimbursed? Absolutely. They need to be reimbursed. But that's it. And Nabholz did a good job. They flew in. They got paid great. So they flew in, tore it down. We got grass growing in 3 days. It's crazy. But what else are we doing? I really want to know what else we're doing. Somebody from the city, go to my Facebook and post. Give us a list of what in the world we're doing. I know that we're redoing the park at Parker Park, and that's moving okay. It may get finished halfway through summer. I don't know when it's going to get finished, maybe July. But aside from that, I don't know what else we're doing. We're definitely not paving roads. We're not clearing ditches. I bragged on the city that we were looking pretty good on these last couple of rains earlier in the last month. And then we have a couple more rains, and I come to find out that there's several subdivisions that were underwater. Parts of over there around Nettleton were just soaking wet. And what are we doing? I don't know. I can't tell you what we're doing in any government right now around here. It's shocking. It's shocking. You go downtown, and I know that downtown's been asking the doggone paint to be redone for I can't tell you how long. That hasn't gotten done. I'm sure they'll have to pay somebody to tell them how to do it correctly. And then they'll wait another 6 months, and then maybe they'll get it done. I have no idea. But I can tell you that there's a lot that they're not getting done. And if you question them and you're within the city, you're probably looking at losing your job. Or if you do a good job, and across the board, you treat everybody the same, doesn't matter who you are, you get treated the same, that's not good either. So we're going to demand more. We're going to keep doing these podcasts. These podcasts are for you guys. Everything that we're doing is literally to better Jonesboro. We do have some great things coming up. End of the month, we're going to have, like I said, the last episode, we're going to have a couple of interviews, and those are going to be fantastic. You guys wait. Next week, we'll announce who we got coming on. And these are people that want to move the needle in Jonesboro, and they want to do it in the right way. These people aren't like me or some of the other people. They're out there to work with everybody, and they do a great job, and the majority of everybody likes these people. So that's why they're being interviewed. But we are going to move the needle. We're going to help move the needle. One of the things we're going to do in future episodes is we're going to help the city. We're going to give them information that we get, and maybe they'll follow it. We'll see. You guys have heard me say this before, but we've got a new school season coming up. We've got a new superintendent at Jonesboro, got a new superintendent at Brooklyn, got a new superintendent at Westside. We got a couple of year-old superintendent at Valley View and at Nettleton. This is the opportunity for them to turn the needle on where Jonesboro sits with our kids and our youth and our test scores, and are we preparing them and all that good stuff. That is the number one key that we have in Jonesboro that we need to work on, so making sure that our kids get taught. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll give more information about the situation that happened at the city council next episode. I'm sure that I know some stuff's going out tonight. I know some stuff's going out in the next couple of days. I know there's a lot of people that are very upset with this situation, and I am too, and it 100% never needs to happen again. It's unacceptable. I know that we need answers for questions. I'll say this other thing too. Isn't it funny? The kids that got shot at that building close to downtown last year, there was supposed to be an investigation. The chief came out and said there's a lot of violations, so forth and so on, and we heard nothing. We heard nothing. And then I did a little bit of investigation, find out who owns the building. You'd be real surprised who owns the buildings. It's weird. There's a couple of other things that have happened in some of these buildings that the same people own, and they're pretty shady. And I'm not saying these people have anything to do with it. I'm just saying they're pretty lax at who they rent to and what they do. But it's funny, too, when something negative happens at them and there's supposed to be an investigation or whatever, and it doesn't ever happen. Maybe it's who you know in Jonesboro, and it's not about what you do or what you stand for. And that's got to change. That's the number one thing that's got to change. It's got to be about what you do and how you do it. It's not about who you know or who you are. We got to do better for each and every person in Jonesboro. And I demand it. I know you demand it. And we're going to see that this gets done. So, guys, have a great week. Thank you so much again for all that you do for the podcast. Tune in, share, like, spread the word, and your voice will be heard. Have a great week.